We are back at it. I don't know why I don't like the way this is looking on your boy right here. I don't like the way it's looking, but we're gonna get it started. We're gonna get it popping. I actually needed to grab one other thing before we get started. So hold on, gotta grab something, and we can get this going. We can get it going. All right. So we getting there. We getting there. Anybody rocking with us so far? Anybody rocking with us? Need to get on here. Let me make sure we're good. Got to make sure this is all gravy. Make sure this is all nice because it's not really gonna be a conducive live session without the. All right, anybody in here yet? No, not at all. What's going on here? What's going on? Put this over here and we can get it popping. All right, who we got? Who we got? Yo. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for coming through. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is read this disclaimer. Then we're gonna get into some live trading. If this technology would just do what it needs to do for me, but for some reason, I'm not really feeling the way that this is looking. All right, so let me just go ahead and get into it. So please note that the following is not legal or financial advice and is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Investing in securities carries a high degree of risk and can result in the loss of your entire investment. You should consult with a qualified financial advisor or legal professional before making any investment decisions. The information contained in this presentation does not constitute an offer or solicitation to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments. Any opinions expressed in this presentation are subject to change without notice and should not be relied upon as a recommendation to buy or sell any securities. Please do your own due diligence and research before making any investment decisions. All right, now that that's out the way, we can really get it popping and get started. And let's just take a look at today's trade recap. So we'll head over to the Discord and we'll take a look. So this is a nice, quick, and easy. I've been focusing on opening range breakouts or orbs, as we all know. So I put in my Discord in the trading chat room that I was looking for Google, Spy, QQQ, or Amazon for some opening range breakouts, either to the upside or to the downside. So very easy, very, very simple. And of course, if you guys were on my last live, you know that I had got this from a gentleman on Twitter. Let me go back here. Yo, one thing I will say, like Zoom really kind of messed up with, how it was supposed to be with making this stuff like really feasible and whatnot. It used to be so easy for me to do the lives. But long story short, like I said, I was looking for some opening range breakouts. I put them charting into the Discord, and then I ended up going with QQQ. That was looking the cleanest to me. So I got in calls for the scalp right here. As y'all can see, I know it's a little bit of a glare, but y'all just rock with me, just bear with me. And it was a quick and easy 40-minute trade. Got me about 11%, almost 12%, $116. But let's take a look at what the charts are looking at right now. So here we have QQQ on the 30-minute chart. I really hate that. Hold on, let me see something. I really hate that we can't see what we need to see here. So we want to, we're going to go to more. We want to share a screen and we want to do advance portion of the screen and share. Lord, I tell y'all. Lord, I tell y'all. All right, let me bring this down so we can get this in here. Okay, so we're looking at QQQ on the 30-minute chart. Just want to show y'all what that trade looked like. Thank y'all for coming through. Yo, Gray Leslie, I see you. Taylor Dyer, what's up? What's going on? All right, so I like to trade on the 30-minute, but I'm also been leaning on using the 7-minute lately. And so I got in right at the start of this 7 o'clock candle, right on this candle right here. So I got in on calls and it immediately just started to go haywire and get crazy. Look at this long wick here on the QQQ. But one thing I definitely learned, and this is really tough, especially if you're talking about how and where you're going to place your stops at. But one thing I've been incorporating more and more into my trading is not where the candle goes, it's where the candle closes. Now, a lot of what you're going to hear from me in this live has really been coming from somebody that I almost consider a mentor. So I've been focusing on opening range breakouts lately. They have been paying off pretty nice. But one thing I will say is you do have to have a little bit of tough skin or wherewithal, especially when we have these crazy volatile candles. But one thing I've also been incorporating using the 30-minute time frame is the 7 minute. And one thing that really gave me a lot of confidence in this trade, even after I entered, was we had this gap down, right? So we had this gap down, and I knew that on the 7 minute chart, the price would have to come back up and fill this gap. We see it a lot more frequently, gap fills on the 7 minute as opposed to like the hourly or the daily. You know, on a daily chart, if something gaps up, it could take days, weeks, months for it to close. But what I've been seeing on the 7 minute is the chart can actually close 7 minutes within an hour, or it's definitely within that same day. So even though I got into this trade and it started to move against me, I had a high level of confidence that we were just going to kind of come on down and then make our way back up. Now, like I said, one of the things about this strategy that I've been really having to learn and grow with is it's not where the candle goes, it's where it closes. So even though I got in on the 30 minute on this candle, it still closed above the opening range breakout. And then this next candle opened, went up here and closed that 7 minute gap that y'all saw way up here. I was able to take profits and then get out of the trade. So it was about a 40-minute trade on my end. And as we can see, we're still above that opening range breakout in terms of the pre-market. Yo, Victor, what's going on? Jervon Farrell says, what's the strat? Opening breakout. That's right. Yeah. So the strategy I'm using is opening breakout. It's always so funny because when I hear people say, what's the strat? And you guys say it like that, I'm always thinking about the literal strat that was created by Rob Smith, the one that has the inside candles outside, the ones, twos, and threes. But when you say what's the strat, I know you mean, what strategy are you using? And so this strategy is the opening range breakout. I've been using it for the past couple of weeks and it has been paying off quite nicely. Just one of the challenges about it, at least for me, on a psychological level, is just remembering that it's not where the candle goes, it's where it closes. And I got that from somebody I can consider to be like a mentor. So if you want a foolproof step by step on the 7 steps that are used to do the opening range breakout, I'm going to tell you exactly who plugged me with the game, who gave me the insights. So if you want to go over and head over to Twitter, let's go over here. Make sure that browsing history is nice and clean. Jokes, jokes. I kid, I kid. All right, so I'm going to show y'all exactly who plugged me with the opening range strategy that I use now. And it's 7 simple steps. So hold on. Bear with me, y'all. This right here, you guys want to go check out Floyd Williams 46 on Twitter. He has a 7 step opening range breakout strategy, which is very, very easy to understand. So if you're a beginner trader, or if you're just a trader who's looking for some simple, easy 7 steps or a check off list that you can do each day, looking for your trade, go check out Charts, Mr. Opening Price, or at Floyd Williams 46 on Twitter. So he's the one who I consider to be somewhat of a mentor. He laced me with the game and he teaches a lot about it on Twitter. But we'll go back to the chart. So it is an opening breakout strategy. And like I just said, as we can see here, it's not where the candle goes, it's where it closes. Now look, this, as long as we were above the opening range, as long as it didn't close above or below the opening range, if you're looking for calls, we're still riding up. We're still riding up and we're still going. Now, this might have stopped out. If you were to have gotten in this 30-minute candle close, depending on the time frame that you trade on, this may have stopped you out. But as we can see here, we're still above that opening range breakout and we're just riding up. All right, bring back truth. What's up? Rich W, Adam West, Erica Armstrong, Noop Wild, Craig Hunt 2800, Cool Boy David. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Appreciate the likes. So like I said, the strategy that we're checking out right now is the opening range breakout. We've got QQQ moving up. And just like I said in my Discord, I was into QQQ calls this morning. So I'm a conservative trader. Went ahead and got my 11% kind of, let me move this up. All right, there we go. So I usually aim for 10% on my trades when I'm scalping. I usually aim for a nice 10% profit. So I hit almost 12%, and then I got out. Yo, Sammy W, what's up? Tim Brown 33. I see you. I see you. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. So a nice easy trade. I will admit July has been a very, very rough month for me trading. It's been a real test of my psychological endurance, things like that. Just kind of seeing trades that seem like they're going sideways. I'm getting out too early or getting in too late, things like that. So definitely working on that. July's definitely been testing my psych level. But the dope thing about the opening range breakout is you can apply it. It's so easy to understand. And I wish I had found it such a long time ago. But that's the name of the game, right? When you're a trader, you should always be pushing yourself to learn and seek things. So here we got Google. It broke out the opening range. It stayed on top of it. So after this candle closed, you may have wanted to get into calls. One thing I'm starting to incorporate on my own with this strategy is understanding, and we all know this, right? Understanding that most candles are going to have some type of pullback or the wick or the shadow, right? Most candles are going to have a wick or a shadow. So, one thing I'm learning with the opening range or really any strategy is if you're waiting for a candle to close on your entry, you may want to give some consideration or thought to allowing the candle to have some pullback. So, for in this instance, looking to have Google calls to the upside, it would be ideal to let that wick form, even if it was just a little bit, and then enter your calls, because that would give you more space to be profitable, right? If you had entered right when this candle had opened, you'd still be fighting uh for some profit to get back into profit. But remember, it's not where the candle goes, it's where it closes. So you're still in good shape if you were to be in Google calls right now, as long as we stay above the opening range or we're still in the breakout zone. Money El Hombre Arana Negro. The Discord is in the bio. Money Bounty. The Twitter user is right here. Floyd Williams 46. Charts, Mr. Opening Price. So yeah, he has a very super dope, easy to understand 7 steps that you just check off each day. And I think that's dope, right? I think for a lot of us, it's hard as we try to find our edge in our strategies just to create that list. We're always trying to fine tune it. But right here, you've got a setup or a strategy that's really easy to understand, and he'll break it down for you. He does like a presentation almost every Saturday on the weekends, every Saturday and Sunday. So you could definitely jump in on one of those, or you could just follow him on X or Twitter, and he gives a lot of game on a daily basis all throughout the day. All right, all right. Yep. Let me see if I missed any comments. All right, let's see who's rocking with us so far. Jervon FRFR, Jervon for real. What's up? Yo, Jay. uh Bastidas Unis, El Hombre Adarana Negro, 777 Boizo, Erica Armstrong, what's up? And Money Bounty. All right, thank y'all for rocking with me. But let's get back into it and see if we can apply it to something else. So we took a look at Goog. Now let's look at SPY. So what you chart is the opening range. And then what we saw here is that eventually SPY closed above the opening range. So a little bit of a breakout. And then you could have got into calls. But what did I just say, right? I'm learning to wait for a little bit of that pullback. So you wait for some of that pullback, wait for that shadow or that wick to form, and then catch that ride all the way up. And remember, it's not where the candle goes, it's where it's closing. So even though right now it appears to be a bit bearish, we still got 19 minutes left on this 30-minute candle. So this could easily turn back the other direction and go the other way. But the dope thing is, if you were a conservative trader, then you would have had plenty of opportunity within this one candle to make some good profits. Let's see. Looks like we got more people coming through. What's up, Robert? What's up, Liv? Snowflake Police is in the building. But same thing here. We've got a SPY. It broke or closed above the opening range. You could have gotten on this next candle, wait for it to pull back a little bit, and then let it run up. And then you could have had profits. As long as you weren't greedy, you could have made some decent money right there, depending on, if you had zero DTE or if you got your contracts a week out. I typically like to get my contracts a week out. So you guys could see that on today's trade, right? This was when I got into the QQQ calls, right? And then I look for an expiration date on Friday. Now, by the time we get to Wednesday, like maybe Wednesday afternoon, I will be looking for contracts that expire the next Friday, if that makes sense. So Monday, Tuesday, half of Wednesday, I'll look for contracts that expire the same week. But once we get to Wednesday afternoon, I look for contracts that expire the next week. So just imagine if today was Wednesday, the 24th, then I would be looking for contracts that are expiring I think that first week in August, like August 2nd or something like that. All right. Thank y'all for the likes. I appreciate it. Raymond Dolosant 976. Z in the cut. Appreciate you. Man. But I just wanted to do that quick trade recap. Let's look at another ticker symbol. Let's look at one more so we can see the same thing with SPY. You chart out your opening range. You want to wait for the candle to close above or below that range. And then you want to let it ride on up and take your profits. Now we can look at Amazon. This is another one that I put into the Discord. So as we can see, this one is playing a little tight, but we had this candle that closed on the bottom of the range. So you could enter in for puts. But what did I just say that I'm incorporating in my strategy? In my strategy, I'm learning, most candles are going to have a wick or a shadow. So before you enter on this candle to the downside, I would wait for a little bit of a pull up here. Oops. My bad, my bad. Cell phone is telling me it's about to die, but I will wait for a little bit of a pullback up here, then enter to the puts, and then you could ride it all the way down. That's how I incorporate or what I added to that opening range breakout. So the first step that you want to do, if you want to know the 7-step strategy, you want to head over here to Twitter, go look at Floyd Williams 46. This is kind of like my mentor. He's really tapped in. He's made a very, very easy to understand 7-step system. And then what I added to it for myself is before you enter on that candle, right? So we will be entering here for puts to the downside. Allow that candle to give you some breathing room. Wait for that pullback. Then enter your put somewhere up here and then let it ride on down. And then you would be in good money, easy money right there. Yo, 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 Sam, thanks for coming through. Matt, what's going on? Mario Varela. Let's see, Jonathan Alvarez, what's up? What's up? Let's run those likes up. Let's run those likes up. So, yeah, so that's the strategy right there. Just a quick recap on what happened with QQQ, which is starting to look a little bearish, but we still have 15 minutes before this candle closes. So just remember, it's not where the candle goes, it's where it's closing. That has been something I've been having to learn pretty tough. But I plotted the opening range for QQQ. We saw it broke above the opening range. And then I entered in on this candle, which was very tough. This one took a lot, especially if you have a predefined stop loss. My stop loss was it got very, very close to it. I actually waited for the candle to come down here, so that gave me some breathing room. And let's double check. Let's see exactly where I entered at. Let's make sure. Let's go back to the Discord. So according to the screenshot from Robinhood, it was around the 481 flat area that I entered. Now, if we go back to TradingView, 481 flat was right here, right in this area is where I entered. So this gave me some breathing room. Even though price continued to drop down, I got in after a little bit of pullback on the candle. And then on this next one, we saw it run all the way up. But I want to show you something that gave me a bit of confidence on this trade. So what gave me confidence as well was that up here, let me go back. If we go to the 7-minute chart, so we're now looking at the 7-minute chart on QQQ, there was a gap to the upside on the 7-minute chart that needed to be filled. So even though price was moving against me, I had a high level of confidence that we were going to do exactly this on the 7-minute chart, that we were going to just go ahead and glide on back up and close the gap and then kind of make our way back down. So uh definitely one of those things where you got to have your wherewithal, where you got to be patient, where you got to be tapped in and just either stick to your predefined stop loss or give yourself some breathing room. So if you're just now joining the live, what I'm talking about is one thing I'm incorporating with my strategy is understanding that most candles are going to have wicks. We all know that, right? Most candles are going to have some upside wicks, some downside wicks. So if your strategy is based upon entering in on a candle after one closes, right? Once a candle opens, I'm also learning that you want to give it a little bit of breathing room. And what I mean by that is you want to wait for the wick to kind of form. And that's exactly what I did with today's trade. So instead of getting in right when this candle opened at, let's see, it opened at 481.52. This one right here, I waited until it came all the way down until 481, and then I entered, and then when I was able to catch those calls upside moves. Now we still got 13 minutes left before this candle closes, but it's definitely looking like a bearish day. Oddly enough, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. After the political news that was announced over the weekend, I definitely thought the market was gonna go crazy, just like insane bullish. I mean, we started off with some bullish activity in the pre-market, and then the first 30-minute candle was very bullish, but now it seems like the market is trying to cool off a little bit. All right, thank you for the follow. Let me see who that was. Oops, no, 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 I didn't want to do an invite, not at all. I was just trying to see who followed me. All right, your wicks do the damage, manipulation, body closes tells the real story. Big shout out to Chris. Exactly, exactly. Big shout out to Chris. That's exactly right. The wicks are the manipulation. And I'm telling you, like, I'm still learning to do it. I'm still learning to not let the wicks manipulate me. I'm actually using the wicks now to my advantage. All right. Yo, Jojo, thank you for coming through. Thank you for the follow, Jojo. Appreciate you. All right. What caused the huge drop? We're overall kind of entering bearish territory. We'd have to see if there's any kind of news or something going on. Let's see. The first thing I would check to see if there's anything on here to see if there's any news. Uh, let's see. We got any news? Stock market game plan for investors, exchange traded funds, equity futures, pre high, Wall Street to rebound in mid hopes. Don't know. We just got to sell off a little bit of bearish. We, like I said, the candles, we still got 10 minutes on the candle. And just like Chris said in the chat, it could be manipulation. These are just wicks forming. We won't know until the end. So even though it's a drop right now, it could just be manipulation to stop people out. It could be manipulation to grab some liquidity. Let's get some of those stop outs and then ride on up. But this is in situations like this is where it's good not to be a greedy trader, you know. Let's see, let's see. So as of right now, um, not Matt W. Before the candle closes, the first immediate thing that we can associate to the drop is that we're looking at manipulation by the market makers right now. Let's see. All right. Jeff, thanks for coming through. Thank y'all for the likes. Appreciate y'all. Really, really do. Okay, so we're looking at QQQ. Let's go take a look at Amazon. And let's go see if we can apply this to any other tickers. Just trying that opening range breakout strategy. Let's just take a look at Walmart, for instance. Let's load that up. Mark Davis, thank you for coming through. I see you. Apple user 3653777575. Let's close this up a little bit. Let's move all this out the way. Let's put that back where I just had it. All right, so we're on the 30-minute. Now we just want to plot it out. We're going to do this together right quick. We just want to plot this out. So what I'm going to do is close this indicator, bow. We're going to turn on the extended trading hours. So we're currently looking at Walmart, and we just want to test this out and kind of see. Walmart is pretty choppy in the pre-market. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and grab the pre-market low, which is right here at 70.62. Boom. I like to make that a white line. And then we want to grab the pre-market high, which appears to be right here, that same candle, interesting enough, which was 70.99. Bow. And then we also want to get, where did price open up at? We also want to get where price opened up. So let's go ahead and mark that on this first 30-minute candle of the day for Walmart. And it looks like it opened up at 70.95. That's a little weird. Let's bring that down a little bit. All right, 70.95 is right there. Bow. Now, you can play it with the opening, but I like to wait for the bottom. So right here, we see that this 30-minute candle finally closed below or outside of the opening range. That's what we're talking about, opening range breakouts. And then what did I tell y'all from the QQQ or all throughout the live? We all know that candle wicks have candles have wicks or shadows, which is the manipulation. Big shout out to Chris in the chat, right? Who pointed that out. So I've been learning to, even though we want to enter on this candle, wait for it to be some pullback, especially because we got this gap here. Wait for it to be some pullback and then enter for your push to the downside. because we were looking for puts because it closed below the opening range. So if it closes below the opening range, we're looking for puts to the downside. If it closed above the opening range, we're looking for calls to the upside. So that's essentially what happened here with Walmart. And so, all right, cool. We've got our actionable signal. It closed below the opening range. Now we want to enter puts to the downside. But what I would do, this is what I added to the strategy: wait for the candle to pull back some, right? Wait for the candle to pull back, enter into your puts maybe around this area. And then now look, you're good money. You're good money entering into these puts all the way to this downside. Viral clips, thank you for the follow. I don't know why, but I keep seeing a person by the name of Just Followed You, or maybe it's just saying this person. It doesn't show their screen name, so it's just saying whoever followed me. But regardless, thank you guys for the follows. Yo, Gonzalez, Luis, thanks for coming through. And then boom, as long as you're not a greedy trader, you could have exited out. Imagine getting in up here on puts and then getting out down here. If you're a scalper, easy, even a day trader, easy money, good money right there. Boom. So let's see who's rocking with us. Let's see who's rocking with us. Okay, we've got Bastidas, Eunice, El Hombre, Abby. Thanks for coming through. Castiel, Viral Clips, Gon DT, user 89297858. Precious Mudia. Oh man, I hate butchering y'all names, but Precious, thank you for coming through. Of course, Jeff has been in the chat a few times, so I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. A lot of follows today, a lot of follows. Let's run those likes up. So if you're just joining the live and you want to trade recap on the trade that I did today, let me know. Now we still have 6 minutes, which is a long time. Even though this candle's pushing down, you never know how it could close. So we've got 6 minutes left on this QQQ. But if you want me to do a recap on the trade of the day, let me know. Big shout out to Smoke. Thank you for the follow. All right. All right. Victor D, thanks for coming through. Jose, what's up? What's up? Okay, cool. So we just did this. Let's do another one. Let's do another ticker symbol. We'll do MSFT, Microsoft, just to get an idea of that opening range. And I'm giving you guys the short and sweet, but I really want you, if you want the full game on this strategy, I'm not getting paid for this. I don't get any, referral, nothing like that. But go over to Twitter, go look up Floyd Williams 46 charts, Mr. Opening Price. He created a very easy 7-step strategy that'll show you how to do the opening range setup. And it's like good money. It's really, really good. And as long as you stick to those 7 rules, you'll be good money. Now, I just added one thing to the 7 rules, and we'll take a look at it right now when it comes to Microsoft. Man, I feel like there's so much on the screen and it's kind of chaotic. See if I could kind of clean this up for us. All right, so we're looking at Microsoft. We need to change this setup so we only see one. Okay, we're on Microsoft looking at the daily. Now we want to break this down to the 30. We want to put on the extended hours. Cool. I'm going to turn off this indicator, that 50% rule. We'll also turn off the strat assistant. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to look for the pre-market high. Let me do one thing first. I need to change this canvas. I really don't like the fact that it looks a little too dark for my eyes. All right, here we go. Now we can see that pre-market activity. So the first thing we want to do is we want to plot out the pre-market low, which is right about here. We want to get the exact number. So the low was 437.36. And we want to bring that up. We got to bust this up a little bit. Where's it at? Right there. All right, so we got our pre-market low. We're currently looking at Microsoft ticker symbol MSFT. And then we want to go and grab the pre-market high, which is this candle right here. And it says the high was 442.40. Let's go ahead and put that there. Hold on, got to bring it down. You want to get this right to the penny. Right to the penny. All right, boom. So we've got our pre-market high. We've got our pre-market low. And then the next thing we want to do is the opening. Where did price open up at for the day? So it opened up at 443.37. That makes sense. No, it opened up at 441.62. My bad, y'all. My bad. 441.62. Let's go ahead and bring this up a little bit. Hold on, hold on. 441.62. Right there. Okay. Now I like to change the opening candle to a blue line. Now we've got our opening range charted out, right? And we see that the first candle of the day did break out. It closed above the opening range. But like I said, this is where we would enter in on this candle for calls. But instead of entering in right away, we know that there's got to be some manipulation that takes place by the market. So I would have waited for this candle to pull back to about down here, enter the calls in, and then you could ride it all the way up to here and made a nice little easy scalp, made some money depending on if you had zero DTE or if your contracts were a week out or whatever the case may be, you would have been good money. Now, the next thing we're looking for, we've got 2 minutes left on the candle being open, is if it closes below the opening price, a potential price target to come down here. But I necessarily don't like to trade that part of the opening range breakout or the orb. I like to wait for it to break above the highs or the lows. All right. I put 441.66 and it is 441.62. Good catch. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good catch. I got the high sensitivity on the gamer mouse. Oops. Jesus. There it is. I appreciate that. All right. Neo said, thank you for the follow. I have the craziest 5 minute strat, says Franco. 777. Thank you for catching that. I appreciate that. All right. Preston says, where you see Coinbase going this next 3 months? Wherever Bitcoin goes. I think we, kind of like SPY with the overall stock market, we're seeing that's what's happening with Bitcoin and Coinbase and cryptocurrencies. So wherever Bitcoin is headed in the next 3 months, that's where we'll see Coinbase and things like that. Uh, let's go take a look. I think Coinbase is um, it's interesting, right? Because they typically say during election years, especially for the stock market is going to run up. But with the announcement over the weekend, it makes it a very interesting scenario. Now I'm speaking to what Preston is asking about Coinbase, right? Because with the announcement over the weekend that Biden is no longer going to run, does that impact that overall theory or historical data with the stock market? Will this still be a year where we have an overall bullish year? I'm inclined to believing so. Here we're looking at coin on the daily chart, and Preston is talking about over the next 3 months. I think that we'll still have somewhat of a bullish or green closeout for the year. So we're currently in July. Preston is talking about roughly the end of October. We could be a little bearish at that time before the election, but I'm thinking that uh, closing out the year, November, December, we're going to be bullish. We're going to be a bit green. And that's my thoughts. But, we try not to predict the stock market. We only want to see what's going on. One thing that you might want to do if we're looking at, 3 months, we could possibly go to the 3 month chart. So we're currently looking at the 3 month chart on Coinbase. All right, let me clean up this dang chart and get this the way that I want it to be. All right, so here we're looking at the 3 month chart for Coinbase. Interesting. So it's a little tough to tell because I forgot how new Coinbase is. So these are all the candlesticks and data that we have. Let me remove some drawings. And right where we're at, I think if we can break above this, when does this 3 month chart close? If we can break above this, we can continue to run back up, which would be in line with it being an election year, overall bullish sentiment for the market. If we can break above this little support and resistance zone that we're in, which is crazy that Preston would ask the question right now because it's just timing is just so crazy, right? But we're right in this support and resistance zone on the 3 month chart. So we're currently looking at a 3 month chart on Coinbase. And if we can break above this support and resistance zone, which is looking like we may, on the 3 month chart, then I believe we can run up. So maybe not within this next 3 months, but the last 3 months of the year. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Kelfinator, thanks for coming through. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. I wanted to make it quick live. I'm gonna get on. Let me double check so I could tell y'all exactly when I'm gonna come back on live. So I'm gonna come back on live uh in 90 minutes. In 90 minutes, I'll be back on live. But just wanted to tap in with y'all, show y'all the trade of the day, which was the QQQ calls, which I was able to scalp right in this area. And it looks like we've kind of come down. We do have a Oh gosh. All right. All right. Yeah, let me get my stuff together. But I appreciate everybody for rocking with me this morning, just tapping in. I'll be back live a little bit later and we can get into some more breaking down the strategy, some more questions. Thank you, Preston. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for everybody who commented. And I'll tap in with y'all later. All right, peace.